Hi, welcome to NATED Class 6. In this video, I'll be explaining the applied thermodynamics, steam plant or steam generation, and all the formulas you will use when solving the problems from your exam question papers. In our steam plant, we have the water steam flow, where our input is water and our output is steam, and the air flue gas flow, where our input is air and our output is the flue gases. Now let's start with the water steam flow. We have three main components of the water steam flow. Number one is the economizer. Number two is the evaporator. Number three is the superheater. We also have four stages, okay? Stage one, we have H1, which is the enthalpy of the feed water entering the economizer at temperature T1. Stage 2, we have H2, which is the enthalpy of the feed water leaving the economizer or entering the evaporator at temperature T2. Stage 3, we have H3, which is the enthalpy of the dry or wet steam. Now, X is the dryness fraction. If given or mentioned, just know your steam is wet, okay? And then stage 4, we have H4, which is the enthalpy of the superheated steam at temperature T4 or T-soup, right? And guys, the pressure at stage 3 and stage 4 is the same, so P4 is equal to P3, okay? Now let's move to the formula used to calculate these enthalpies. H1 is equal to the HF from our steam table at temperature T1. H2 is equal to the HF from our steam table at temperature T2. T1 and T2 are actually the TS from our steam table, okay? And then here's our HF. Now for H3, if our steam is wet, our enthalpy becomes H wet, which is equal to HF plus our dryness fraction multiplied by HFG. We'll get our HF and HFG from our steam table at pressure P4, which is also equal to P3, okay? If our steam is dry, our enthalpy becomes H dry, which is equal to the Hg from our steam table at pressure P4 or P3, okay? Now H4 is the enthalpy of the superheated steam, sometimes it's called H-soup, okay? Now if we are given the CP soup or the specific heat capacity of the superheated steam, our H-soup is equal to Hg plus CP soup multiplied by T4 minus Ts. We'll get our Hg and Ts from our steam table at the pressure P4 or the pressure of the steam, okay? And if we are not given the CP soup but P4 and T4, we go to our superheated steam table where our pressure P4 row intersect with our temperature T4 column will fetch our H soup, okay? We also have the formulas used to calculate our volume of steam, okay? For volume, if our steam is wet, our volume is V wet, which is equal to Vg from the steam table multiplied by the dryness fraction, okay? And then if our steam is dry, our volume is V dry, which is equal to Vg from our steam table. For superheated steam, our volume is V soup, which is equal to 0.231 multiplied by H4 minus 1941 and then divide by P4, okay? And guys, our enthalpies here are in kilojoules per kg, our temperatures are in degrees Celsius, and our volumes are in cubic meter per kg, okay? Now let's go to the formula used to calculate the amount of the heat absorbed by each component. For economizer, Q equal is equal to the mass of steam divided by mass of fuel is in kg per kg of fuel, okay? Multiplied by H2 minus H1. And then for evaporator, Q eva is equal to mass of steam divided by mass of fuel multiplied by H3 minus H2. For superheater, Q soup is equal to mass of steam divided by mass of fuel multiplied by H4 minus H3. And guys, the amount of heat absorbed by each component are in kilojoules per kg, okay? Now we also have the efficiency of the plant. To calculate the efficiency of the plant, we use this formula. The efficiency of the plant is equal to mass of steam multiplied by H4 minus H1 and then divided by mass of fuel multiplied by calorific value or the heat value, then multiplied by 100%, okay? Or the efficiency of the plant is equal to Q equal plus Q eva plus Q soup and then divide by the calorific value or the heat value, then multiply by 100. Your efficiency is in percentages, okay? We also have equivalent evaporation at 100 or EE is equal to mass of steam multiplied by H4 minus H1, and then divide by mass of fuel multiplied by 2257. Our EE is in kg per kg of fuel, okay? Now let's go to the air flue gas flow diagram. So for air flue gas flow, we have 5 main components. Number 1 is the heater, number 2 is the evaporator or boiler, and then number 3 is the superheater, number 4 is the economizer, and then lastly we have the chimney, okay? Now air enters the preheater at temperature TA1, which is also the atmospheric temperature or the boiler room temperature. Then the air leaves the preheater at temperature TA2, which is higher than TA1. Inside the boiler, combustion takes place, and as a result, the air-fuel mixture will give us the flue gases, okay? So at the evaporator or the boiler exit, we have the flue gases at temperature TF1, which is the temperature of the flue gas. And then after the superheater, we still have flue gases at temperature TF2, which is less than TF1, okay? And then at the economizer exit, we still have the flue gases at TC and PC. TC is the temperature at the chimney base, and then PC is the pressure at the chimney base. At the chimney exit, we have flue gases at TA or PA. TA is the atmospheric temperature or the boiler room temperature, and then PA is the atmospheric pressure. Now, mass of flues is equal to mass of air plus 1 in kg, okay? Sometimes mass of flues is given as a ratio. However, we'll deal with that when taking on question papers, okay? Now, mass of dry is equal to mass of flues minus mass of moisture in kg, okay? And then mass of moisture is equal to mass of flues minus mass of dry in kg, okay? Now, let's go to the formula used to calculate the amount of heat absorbed by each component using the air flue gas flow. Now, for heater, Q heater is equal to mass of air multiplied by Cp of air, or the specific heat capacity of air, then multiply by TA2 minus TA1. If you don't have the temperature of air after the preheater, then use TC, which is the temperature of the chimney base, okay? And then for evaporator or boiler, QEVA is equal to mass of fuel multiplied by the calorific value or the heat value. For superheater, QSUP is equal to mass of flue gas multiplied by Cp of flue gases, which is the specific heat capacity of the flue gases, then multiply by temperature of the flue gas 1 minus the temperature of the flue gas 2. For economizer, Q eco is equal to mass of flues multiplied by Cp of flues, and then multiply by the temperature of the flues 2 minus the temperature at the chimney base. Now, to calculate the heat lost in the dry flue gases which occurs at the chimney, Q dry is equal to mass of dry multiplied by Cp of flues or Cp of dry if given, then multiply by Tc minus Ta. And then to calculate the heat lost in the combustion moisture leaving the plant which also occurs at the chimney, Q moisture is equal to mass of moisture multiplied by the enthalpy of steam minus the enthalpy of water. We'll get the enthalpy of the steam from our superheated steam table at the pressure and temperature of the chimney base. And then the enthalpy of water is equal to Cp of water multiplied by the atmospheric temperature or the boiler room temperature, okay? Now let's combine the air flue gas flow and the water steam flow diagram to get our full steam plant layout. This is our full steam plant layout, guys. The blue arrows are for water steam flow and the red arrows are for air flue gas flow. Now guys, it is very important to understand the water steam flow and the air flue gas flow diagrams, okay? As well as the full steam plant layout, because I'll be using this layout when solving questions from question papers, okay? Please hit like, subscribe and the share button. That will be the injection of motivation. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.